Self-discipline works like anything else. You have to build on it, brick by brick, layer by layer. If you don't do that, you'll never have the discipline you actually seek. So, I want to give you a couple of tricks that's helped me in my life. First of all, you have to approach it with that mindset. You have to build it layer by layer. All right? Most people will go, okay, new year, I'm going to make all these New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to set all these goals for myself for this next year. And they make it impossible. Because when you try to switch that much of your life over at one time, it becomes very, very difficult. But if you can switch just one thing, one small thing even, that can have a snowball effect that will completely transform your life. If you're not willing to make that switch, it's never gonna change. So change one teeny tiny thing. There's a book I'd highly recommend for everyone to read. It's called The Compound Effect. It's a brilliant book. He breaks this down. The whole book, that's all this is about. Make small changes that don't seem like they're really going to make that much of a difference. But that snowball or ripple effect or whatever you want to call it, it's real. It works. About a year ago, I started doing push-ups. And since then, everything else in my life has changed. That one tiny little move to, okay, I don't have the body that I want. I don't have the fitness that I want. What can I do different? Started doing push-ups. That led me to now I'm exercising in the gym every day, working like I've never worked in my life, trying to get back to that body that I want. And it starts with one small act. For you, that could be waking up on time. That could be eating slightly less, maybe skipping breakfast or dinner, something. But you don't have to change everything at once. In fact, if you do that, you're almost guaranteed to fail. But find one thing that you will never miss. You have to be consistent. You have to make sure and promise yourself that you're never going to go back on this. And if your employer asks you to do it, you would do it without hesitation. So you have to treat it that way. In fact, even more so because you're telling yourself this. You can't lie to yourself. If your employer said, okay, you're going to come into work 8 o'clock, but for the first half an hour that you come into work, you have to go to the gym that's at our work. You have to go to the gym and you got to work out. Every one of you would do it because your employer said. In fact, most of you would be thrilled. You'd be like, hey, I'm getting paid to work out. This is awesome. Yet that one little move can make your entire life better, and you're not willing to do it for yourself. You do it for your employer. You have more respect for your employer than you do for yourself. So you need to gain some respect for yourself, and that starts with trusting that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. If you had invited somebody over to your home and they were always late, or they didn't come, or they just, oh yeah, I'll come, I'll be there, and then they'd never show up. It wouldn't take very, very long before you would stop inviting them altogether, because you wouldn't trust anything they said. If they were late every single time, you wouldn't trust them. You do that to yourself. Every time you say, I'm going to wake up at this time, and then you don't. You're lying to yourself. Your brain listens to that, hears it, and goes, okay, so we don't have to trust that. So it does. In this world, you get what you tolerate. So don't tolerate weakness anymore. If that's what you don't want in your life, you need to fix it by changing one small thing. It doesn't have to be big. Wake up on time. Make that be the change in your life. If you just do that, that will ripple into other areas, and other areas of your life will become significantly better. So do better. You know you can. I know you can. There's a lot more inside of you than you believe there is. So focus on that and make the small change necessary to improve your life.